Coming to the webinar today, we are going to be going over F&G Safe Income Plus product. It is a great income product for your clients that does have a great doubling option on it. First thing we're going to go over are some housekeeping items. I will go as quick as I can so that we can get to what we all came for here. First thing we're going to talk about is IAMS Business Builders. So we have a referred producer program. When you refer an agent to IAMS, you're going to receive a $50 bonus when that agent does contract with us, and $100 when your referral writes his first piece of business. And then we pay 20 basis points on all business that they write thereafter. The other thing we're going to talk about is our marketing reimbursement program that we do offer to help you cover the cost of conducting business. We pay $100 into your marketing reimbursement account for every $100,000 of premium that you submit. Next thing we're going to talk about is our new producer builders. So as you can see this year, we have added a couple extra tiers in here. We have our $100,000 level with a couple of great marketing options for you. You can have a 1,500 piece postcard mailing or pre-formatted emails and a comprehensive marketing analysis and a corporate identity package. At the $250,000 level, you get a 3,000 piece postcard mailing, 2,000 in your marketing reimbursement account, or you also have an option of a newspaper ad and some marketing collateral. At the $500,000 mark, you have 2 seminar coaching options, a Ritz-Carlton package, or a billboard ad, seminar presentation, email distro, and full website overhaul or design. $750,000 in your first 6 months of contracting with us gets you Retirement Boss radio program with 8 recorded shows, 2 Social Security seminar programs, a $4,500 lead credit, or a video social media campaign. And if you should be so ambitious to do $1 million in your first 6 months with us, you can receive your core story brand builder and get published in a major news outlet, have a dinner workshop, preset appointments, or 3 videos, 3 consumer-facing pieces, and 3 custom articles. Next thing we are going to go over is IAMS back office support, which is what we are to you as an agent. From the minute you get a case, we are going to assist you with all of your case design, illustrations, applications, product training brochure, product training links, product brochures, get you fluent in the product so that you can make a knowledgeable presentation to your clients. Then once you get that piece of business written and you turn it into IAMS, we're going to scrub it, submit it to the carrier, follow up on it every 3 business days to ensure that you do get paid in a timely manner. We do have a 24-hour quote turnaround time guarantee. We at IAMS have expertise coaching, and we have paperless contracting through SuranceBay. And through our website, you can do forms at your fingertips. Next thing we're going to talk about is our new Firelight eApp system for annuities. We now can do this through our website. As you can see, we have several carriers that are available to do eApps through our website. Most of the main ones. We're missing a few, but we've got most of the main ones. And then the rest will be coming soon. And all you need to do is register for the website and then go online and register for Firelight to gain access to that. The next thing we're going to talk about is one of the best things that I feel that we do have available at IAMS, besides all of the back office support that we do provide you, are creative marketing solutions. So we have a creative marketing department that can do anything that you need to promote your business, whether it's turnkey solutions like handouts and flyers, agency solutions like logos and branding and business cards and brochure, or digital solutions like your website, social media consulting, email marketing. We can handle all of that for you here at IAMS, which is a very valuable tool that I hope if you are contracted with us, you are utilizing. Next thing we're going to talk about is IAMS website. So on our website, you have access to any kind of marketing materials that you might want in our sales resource library. You can do term quotes, you can do income rider comparisons, you can pull the highest MIGA rates, you can access forms, you can go to our current annuity newsletter, see the long-term product grid and the annuity grid as well. If you would ever like any assistance in going through the website and finding where everything is located, I would be happy to help you with that. Just feel free to give me a call. Next thing we're going to talk about is IAMS Wealth Management. So you do need a Series 65. It does increase your revenue and it does improve your client retention. Just as an example, if you have a client who has $600,000 and say they have a few annuities already, and because of suitability, suitability for the annuity is only going to take $400,000 of that money. If you don't have another place to place that money, you're likely going to lose that piece of business. And with a 65, that gives you another option on placing that $200,000. It is an excellent thing to have in your pocket for business. The next thing we're going to talk about is our upcoming all expense paid life and annuity training academy. It's going to be May 6th through the 8th. We do bring in 4 of our top producers. They are going to go over the marketing strategies that they have used throughout the course of their career to get from the bottom to the top. And with that, I am going to launch my first poll question. If you would like more information on our upcoming Life and Annuity Academy, please answer yes. If not, just answer no. Give you about 30 seconds to do so. And I will follow up with each of you after this webinar so that you can learn about the agenda for the upcoming Life and Annuity Academy. Looks like everyone has just about voted. I'm going to go ahead and close this poll out and go on to the next slide. The next one that we have is our Athene trip that IAMS is going to be sponsoring. I am going to, if you guys would like more information on wealth management, I'm going to launch a poll question on that now. You can answer yes or no. Sorry to do those back to back, but we'll talk about the Athene trip while that poll goes out. This Athene trip is going to be at the Baja Oasis. It's going to be an incredible trip. The invitation period began July 1 of 19 and goes through June 30th of 2020. 3.5 million points will get you there. I'm going to close out that poll. On to the next slide. Next thing we are going to talk about is our IAMS Marketing Summit of 2021. It will be March 7th through the 11th, 2021. The qualification period began July 1st of 2019 and runs through December 31st of this year. Again, the qualification requirements are 3.5 million points. So essentially you could qualify for 2 trips with 3.5 million points. It's going to be at a luxury resort in Puerto Vallarta, full of all sorts of fun activities, golfing, spas, shopping, etc. Don't want to miss out on that opportunity. Next slide is the elite trip that we're going to have, which will be March 11th through the 14th at the Punta Mita Elite level trip. The date on that, as I said, is March 11th through the 14th, and the minimum qualification for this trip is 6.5 million points. For instant qualification, you do need 8.5 million points. The qualification period is the same. July 1 of 19 through December 31st of 20. And with all of that being said, I am going to turn this over to Dustin Carlson. He is with F&G. Dustin, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm just making sure I'm on the right screen that I'm sharing. Do you see my screen?
I see your screen.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, hey, thanks, Nicole. Appreciate the time, everybody. A lot of people on the phone call today, and I know you're all spending time away from selling annuities, life insurance, hopefully some AUM in there too, to be with me. So I do not take that lightly and really appreciate the partnership that we have with IAMS. You're hooked up with a great organization. Nicole went through a lot of great offerings they have, training opportunities and trips. So definitely keep them at the forefront of your mind whenever you're thinking about your marketing and what they can do to take your business to the next level. So the presentation that I have for you today is only about 20 slides. We're going to talk about why F&G, why now. You know, for some, this may be a reintroduction. Maybe you've written us in the past, haven't for a while, whatever, or a complete new introduction to F&G. So a little bit of history on us, a little bit of product overview on the Safe Income Plus in particular, and sales concepts. I have two of those for you today. So why F&G and why now? You know, we have a longer history. You know, we've been around since 1959. It's been a great company to be a part of since I've been here in 2018. My second day, we received the ratings upgrade to A-. And I'm not sure if you all had seen over the last 3 or 4 weeks, we were actually purchased by another company, and I want to lay that out briefly. Currently, we are FGL. We are publicly traded, and FGL is our ticker symbol. There's 2 chairmen of the board, Chin Chu and Bill Foley. Bill Foley is also, the chairman of Fidelity National Financial, which is the nation's largest title insurance company. And he also owns the Las Vegas Golden Knights hockey team. So does very well for himself, obviously knows how to run a business. And he saw it that we were doing very, very well, needed more capital to grow and to hopefully get our A rating, because of course we're A-. And for his title insurance business, which is taking in a lot of money, in fact, $1 billion surplus a year in the current environment. You know, everybody's getting mortgages, refinancing their mortgages, all that good stuff. Title insurance does very well in its current environment, but once interest rates go up, they don't do so hot. But annuities do very, very well. So Bill decided to buy our company outright. We will no longer be publicly traded, and we will be a United States-based company. You know, technically we were based in the Caymans, like every other carrier it seems these days, but we will be under a Fortune 500 company, which Fidelity National Financial is. We're very, very excited about that. And upon the announcement of that deal, the rating agencies gave us a positive outlook immediately and had said that upon close, we should be able to get our A rating, which is great because they're targeting a end of Q2, or essentially the end of June end date there on that deal. So all good news from our end. Gives us access to capital to continue to support the business, remain solvent, of course, and do the things we need to do from a strategic standpoint. We were the number 4 carrier overall in 2018. I think we kept that ranking in 2019, but not all the final numbers are out. And, the last bullet point I have there is strategic. We do partner with the field a lot. Most of our products have been developed by our IMO partners and have heavy influence by top producers. So if there's something you're seeing in the market that we currently don't have, we are constantly in product development. So we would love to hear your ideas there. The second point I would make on strategic is our partnerships that we have with our index options. Today we won't talk necessarily about products that have the two top performing indexes in the industry right now. I've covered those previously with Nicole a few weeks ago, but Barclays, Trailblazer Sectors 5. So we're partnering with one of the world's leading banks in Barclays. BlackRock iShare ETF platform that they have. So we are the exclusive partner for them on one of our products. And then lastly, Blackstone. If y'all are familiar with that name, great. If not, they are the world's largest alternative asset manager with over $500 billion of assets under management. So what the strategy there is, in its current state, they own actually 20% of our shares. But once the purchase goes through, obviously there's no shares to own. So basically we have extended our deal with Blackstone, which is they will do continue to do all of our investing for us. So when your client sends us their premium dollars, the world's largest alternative asset manager is doing the investing for them, which gives us more internal rate of return so that we can keep dollars on our books, put it into commissions for you all, and then for the biggest reason, back into the policy where we try to keep the caps and rates and product features as plentiful as possible. So we have some pretty good perks for writing agents. I used to work at an IMO here in Des Moines, Iowa, where I'm based, and I had a lot of different carriers, 30 plus carriers, and it was during the DOL days, and every carrier was getting rid of their deferred comp plans and their trips. Well, we in fact doubled down on that, and it's proven dividends over the last few years. Those carriers that had those programs in the past, never brought them back, as you probably know. They don't have the trips. They don't have the deferred comp plans. So you can use us to help build your own retirement. And this example that I'm showing you here is a way for me to kind of help you visualize it. So how it works is there's a 6-year vesting period. It's based upon production, and you earn credits through that production. And the bogey to hit right now for the first credit, and you can earn up to how many ever credits you can possibly produce with us, but one credit is $1.75 million of fixed indexed annuity premium. This example you're seeing here is a producer doing the minimum $1.75 million for 6 years. Every credit is typically between $3,000 and $5,000 worth of value. It varies depending on company performance for that year. But in this example, the first 3 years of credits were valued at $3,750. So let's take those 3 years for an example. Year 1, you earn 1 credit. We make a deposit in your principal financial group account. But in year 2, this agent did enough premium to earn 1 credit, but you see 2 deposits or a total of $7,500. What we offer is a persistency credit. So anytime so I guess I should say it like this: every subsequent year that business from prior years stays on the books. So if your client didn't surrender, cancel, whatever, any of their policies from the first year, we're going to give you credit for that business from year 1 in year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why you see that compounding effect in this example. So really, at the end of year 3, we're giving you 1 credit for that year's production, 1 credit for year 2's production, and 1 credit for year 3. That's why you see 3 deposits, or a total of $11,250. So that may be clear as mud, but what I would encourage you to do, you see Nicole's email address there in orange in the upper right-hand corner. Email her now for a copy of this Excel spreadsheet. I've simply taken a screenshot of it, but all it is an Excel spreadsheet showing you what sort of production level that you think you can do with F&G. We apply a interest rate there, as you can see, 5% in that example. What we're doing is depositing this money every year into principal. They are the administrator for this plan. They have roughly 20 ETFs for you to try to get a nice interest rate from. And then the credit value typically between 3,000 and 5,000. I use 4,000, but you can change that to whatever you want there. So if you can look at the output in the bottom, in year one, this and all 10 years essentially, this agent has done enough production to earn 2 credits per year. Each credit is worth $4,000, so total amount contributed in each year was $8,000 in year one. Fast forward to the end of the vesting period, continued production through that 6 years would give you roughly $48,000 worth of production in year 6, or a total of $168,000 of accumulated contributions. And oh, by the way, add in 5% interest from principal, and you could have $182,721. If you have 10 years left in the business, or if you're just starting out, this is a great program too. But look at that balance at the end of 10 years, $513,000 in your retirement account.
Justin, will you go back
Nicole,
one slide? Yeah, will you go back one slide?
Absolutely.
Okay, so everybody, just to break this down really simple, what this chart is showing you is that you have submitted 1.75 with F&G, no more. And at the end of a 6-year period, F&G potentially is going to give you $80,000 for putting 1.75 with them in a one-time 1-year period. $80,000. Now,
Nicole, and to clarify, that is 1.75 each year for 6 years.
Oh, they're adding each year. Okay, so
they have to do $1.75 million of production each year for 6 years to stay on the vesting schedule. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep, but still, okay, so if you're working with F&G and you're putting your business there and you're putting 1.75 in, at the end of a 6-year period, the total contribution is $80,000. And then we go to the next slide to see the 5% interest rate on it. And I mean, that's a no-brainer. You're fully vested.
And this is above and beyond commissions, right? I mean, this is above and beyond.
Free money. I mean, you'll have to pay taxes on it, but it's free money.
Right. This is something that carriers, and for those seasoned vets on the phone, I mean, that you used to see all the time from most carriers, right? And they use DOL as an excuse to rip this away from you. Not only that, but trips. And we felt like this was a long-term initiative of ours to create that extra sticky with advisors that are looking for their own retirement plan, because let's face it, most of you are independent people that don't have access to your 401k with a match or a traditional pension plan.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with this, aside from the fact that this is a carrier that offers a full product line on the life and annuity side, both of top products. You just can't go wrong with this deferred comp program. Okay, I'll stop talking.
Absolutely. Well, Nicole, I'll show a couple additional examples, and I hope people do reach out to you for this, because what I've found in trying to explain the program is that advisors sort of get it, but until they can actually go into an Excel spreadsheet and manipulate the data, they truly don't get the power of it. So, and that's not a knock on anybody. That's just, it's somewhat of a atypical plan. So get that email into Nicole and get your Excel spreadsheet. This is an advisor doing 10 million with us. At the end of 10 years, that advisor would have 1.5 million. And this is an example of someone doing 15. We do have advisors doing this with us, and that hypothetical account value is at 2.2 million. at the end of 10 years. And what I tell you is since 2011, when we started this program, we've made roughly 30 millionaires out of this plan. So I'd encourage you to take a look at it, see if it's something that you would be interested in. And, I mentioned trips. Our trip for 2020 production is going to be a doozy. Hawaii, the Big Island, the Four Seasons Resort there, probably one of the top 2 or 3 best Four Seasons resorts in the entire world. So what it takes to get there with us is a minimum of $4 million, and you have to be ranked in our top 100. What I would say is we typically invite around 125 people because for whatever reason it doesn't work with somebody's schedule or whatever. We need to invite 125 to get 100 people to go. So even if you're not in our top 100, I think you can eke in there being the 125th ranked advisor. But you do have to meet a minimum of $4 million to get the invite. So, to kind of put that in perspective, last year, roughly $4.5 million was our 100th ranked advisor. So keep that in mind when sending us premium. But would love to get a chance to earn that business and get you to Hawaii. So I know I'm running out of time already, but here's a look at our portfolio as it stands now. And when I worked at that IMO prior to this, I had 30 carriers, 300 plus products that I could really use to hone in on whatever case design I needed for my advisors. I loved F&G. They were always in my top 5 carriers because it's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of carriers, and I still feel this way today. We have something for everybody. We have probably the top 2 accumulation stories or growth stories in the industry with Power Accumulator and Accumulator Plus.
Yes.
They utilize those very simplistic stories, no bonuses, but also no fees associated with them. And they have Barclays and the BlackRock platform. And I'm telling you, we've taken in so much premium. And in fact, the Accumulator Plus was our top product last year when growth really has never been a top product with us. So big time shift from other carriers to F&G, luckily, and specifically to the Accumulator Plus. As you know, the most companies, including us, have adjusted our S&P correlated indexes because the 10-year Treasury is literally, I guess it's not professional to say, but it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really, really
below
sad
1
where
today.
it is. Yeah. And if you don't know, carriers kind of price off of the 10-year Treasury. And what I've been told is every 10 basis points the 10-year Treasury loses, insurance carriers lose around 100 basis points of internal rate of return. So they have to take it from somewhere to stay solvent. And typically that is seen in caps, rates, roll-ups, bonuses, and sometimes commissions. So what the shining light here, though, is, or the saving grace, at least for us, is our proprietary indexes. They did not adjust whatsoever, and really haven't during the last 2 inverted yield curves. So if you have questions on those 2 products, Nicole's a great resource for that. Continue to reach out to her for that information. The other 2 columns, performance-driven income, that's that stacking credit of interest credits plus a roll-up to the income base. And then you have guaranteed income, which we will cover today. One of the top products in the industry year in and year out is the Safe Income Plus. So with that, we'll get right into it. I always like to start out with some industry knowledge for you to take and hopefully provide value to you in your practice. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is from 2015, but they're projecting out into the future, and I think these numbers are pretty accurate. But there's 10,000 people retiring every day in 2015. 2021, they projected to 11,000, so we're probably closer to that 11,000 number right now. So that's talking about the market that you all have to prospect to. Almost 50 million in 2015 were the number of retirees. 5 years from now, that number is projected to be 66 million. And then lastly, the sheer amount of retirement dollars available for everyone right now is somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 trillion. So it's a great market to be in, even though we're in this low interest rate environment, because people are looking for that downside protection after weeks like we had last week, and potentially whatever happens this week, they're going to look for cover. And this is always something to keep in mind. Most of you already know this, but it's an excellent reminder. And I should have bracketed the top 3 there, but this is the top goals of clients, listing their most important retirement goals. There was a survey done by LIMRA, and I know it's 2013, but nonetheless, I don't think these have really ever changed. Their top concern is having enough money to last a lifetime. The second is remain financially independent, as you can see there, and then stay alive and live in your own home. The Safe Income Plus can really help you out with all 3 of those, and I'll show you here in subsequent slides. But the products that we sell, we have extremely important jobs because we are able to provide clients those top 3, and really there's no other financial instrument that can do that, in my opinion. So this product, the Safe Income Plus, key selling points, what I like about it is it offers a 6 or 7% bonus depending on state, as a 7% daily compounding roll-up, which is an amazing feature in its own right. The client can trigger income on any day, meaning if they wanted to go to year 5, month 6, we're not going to not give them that daily compounding roll-up. They're actually going to get all 6 months of gain there, of compounding effect, whereas other carriers would go back to the previous anniversary to calculate income. And we're not banning age payouts or payout factors. Those go up every single year. And then, the bullet point there would be, hey, if the client's sick, we have a 2 of 6 ADL doubler, which I'll show you an infographic on here in just a bit. One thing that I talk about is increasing the client's income stability, and really one of the ideas here is using less assets, retirement assets, to get the same effect of retirement dollars. And I guess let me lay that out for you. We offer an upfront bonus in this product, so where other products, let's say you dump in $100,000 to get a certain payout that you're looking for, really with ours, since we offer a 7% bonus, you'd have to use roughly $7,000 less to fund that $100,000 payout that you were looking for before. As far as guaranteed income-based growth, the advantage there is we're giving a 7% compounding roll-up, as mentioned. That is nice to be able to tell a client that every year your account will go up 7% compounded daily. And then, as you know, there's no sequence of return risk with annuities. We're completely downside protected versus an AUM portfolio that, the Edward Jones rep may be pitching to your prospective client. Oh, hey, just take 4% out of your AUM account and that'll last you a lifetime. Well, as you can see last week, sequence of return risk reared its head pretty well there, and your client wouldn't have near the income that they were told they would by that Edward Jones rep or whoever it may be. So this is a slide that someone just sent me this morning on daily crediting of a 7% roll-up versus a product that doesn't have it. This is a 65-year-old depositing $100,000 and deferring 7 years. So if this client would elect income, basically year 7, month 2, or any of these months, in year 7 in product A on the left, the competition, they would have a $9,861 payment for the rest of their life, which is good. But if you look at the Safe Income Plus and its daily compounding effect, most clients, let's face it, don't wait until their anniversary to turn on income. They decide to do it sometime within that policy year. So you could say, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Client, you're ready to go. It's year 7, month 7. Instead of having $9,861, F&G will actually pay you $10,188. So that's the effect of the daily compound. And if there's any questions on that, I can help you out, Nicole can help you out, but definitely keep that in mind when you're considering our product. Here's a look at a simplified illustration that shows the 7% compound, 7% bonus. We do have the withdrawal percentages or payout factors going up every single year. If you need the payout factor schedule, let me know.
I have that as well.
Now, yeah, you definitely have that too, Nicole. And one thing that I always mention on every webinar, even if it's not covering income riders, is our 206 ADL doubler, because it is so advantageous to clients in the event that they could perform 206 ADLs and they needed an extra income to help take care of themselves. So this is available on all of our income riders. It looks the same exact way. And it's like any other income doubler where we're just going to take, in this example, Ed has $8,100 a year. We're going to double his payment to $16,200. Now, where we are different is we do not limit that payment for 5 years. As long as there's cash value in the contract, we will continue to pay that double income. And then once that cash value runs out, we still fulfill our obligation to pay the client $8,100 for the rest of their life. It is 206 ADL based. What we require there is a doctor's note, and there's an additional form to fill out, but essentially that's the gist of it. Client can't perform 206 ADLs after the 3rd year in the contract. They can get double the income. The advantage for you, or one of the big advantages, is if you're sitting across the table from a client and you're talking about the advantages of this contract, what I would talk about is the fact that we don't require a client to be confined to a nursing home for 200 days out of 250 or whatever other carriers do. We simply say, provide us the doctor's note, fill out a form, and we'll provide double that income. So that way, the big time value add for the client is they don't have to go to a nursing home to get it. They can stay in their own home, and if double the income will help them pay for a nurse to come into the house to take care of them, I think 10 out of 10 clients are going to prefer to stay in their own home if they can versus the nursing home. So that's a big time value add for you as an advisor talking about the Safe Income Plus.
That is the deal closer.
And
that is something that needs to be pointed out at every client meeting, because that will get you the sale. And especially when you add in that there is no 5-year limit. It's just until the account value hits 0.
Yeah, Nicole, to follow up on that part of it, I'm glad you mentioned that. Personal story. So my aunt is roughly 60 years old. She has early onset dementia. Her lifespan is supposed to be anywhere from 2 to 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But what does her life look like 10 years from now? In the sense that she cognitively she won't be there, but for whatever reason, there's these medicines out there that keep these people alive a lot longer, right? So, she could not be able to perform 206 ADLs, but be able to stay in her own home if we were able to double her income. So I think, these diseases that people may not be able to perform cognitively, these ADLs, we can still allow them the opportunity to stay in their own home if double that income would allow for it.
Yeah, that is just,
And,
I can't emphasize enough how much that will give your client the peace of mind to conduct the sale. It really, truly will.
And, I don't know how many people on the call are from California, but if you are or do business in California, that income doublers aren't available in the state other than a couple companies. What I tell you is we've always had this available there, and it's such a competitive advantage for you if you're going, side by side with another advisor trying to earn a client's business. you're going to win a lot of business just based upon the 206 ADL doubler if everything else is pretty much apples to apples. So definitely keep that in mind as well.
Yep, and I run
So, to
income
round
quotes.
out.
Sorry, Dustin, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I
No, I was
run
going to round out the product.
I run income quotes all day long, and this product is always within the top 3, and I'm talking $200 a year in difference in payout. And that no 5-year limit is enough right there to forfeit the $200, in my opinion. And most agents, when I present all the material to them, feel the same way.
And Nicole, I'll flip back to this slide. Reason being is when you're running those quotes, you may see like our competitor have a higher payout, 98.61, and we only have 97.94. But if you get into our illustration software, you can actually illustrate, that 7-year deferral and 7-month activation of the income. So, don't be afraid to ask Nicole to run those illustrations at the home office, because your client could potentially miss out on roughly, $200-$300 a year, a month, or whatever their payout is.
And that's one day of paying for a nurse.
That's right. So, rounding out the product, it has the upfront bonus, the daily compounding, the 206 ADL doubler. There's really a home run if your client is looking for that, traditional pension-like payout for the rest of their life. We do have the income options for someone trying to hedge against inflation, but this is someone that is looking to, solidify their costs in retirement and really nail it down between Social Security and, a pension, which only 5% of employers today have. So your client probably doesn't have that, but they want something like that pension payment that they can count on. This can get the job done for them. Now, 2 really quick sales ideas, and I like to always keep it basic because I find if I try to explain something in depth, I lose people. So this may help you. Hopefully it does. But the whole idea here is you can do a whiteboard, you can do a piece of paper, a napkin, whatever. But the idea with the illustration is to get the client to conceptualize what an annuity can do for them. So let's say the client has $500,000 of retirement assets. Go ahead and draw a bucket, write $500,000 in there, then have your client simply draw 3 arrows like illustrated here and tell them, look, your money can go these 3 ways. If it could go one way, which one would you eliminate? 10 times out of 10, they're going to eliminate the one that goes down, right? So you just sold the concept of an annuity right then and there. The other one, and I put Nicole's email address here again, because this is a piece that we actually have. You can customize, put your name and contact information in there, whether you leave it with the client or use it for advertising, whatever it may be. You can definitely use this piece, and I think, in recent history, there's no better time than to use this piece now, because I don't know about you, but my S&P correlated IRA index funds took a hit last week.
Yep.
The example I use on this page is in 2008, 80% of 401ks lost 37% of their value. So if you took that loss along the left-hand side, and let's just call it 35% loss, follow that green diagonal all the way up to the 0 line, 53.8%. So that means if your client lost 35% of their value, they would need to make up, have a gain of 53.8% just to get back to even. I don't think a lot of people realize this, but in 2008, they lost a lot of money, and maybe they gained 53.8% over this last bull run. But what they don't realize is that they're basically just they're getting back to 0, back to level where they were before. So keep that in mind when you have market fluctuation like we had last week. And I think putting this in front of someone could provide extreme value to you to sell the concept of an annuity and the downside protection that it has. Not even talking about upside.
Exactly.
So Nicole, that rounds it out for me. I
Well,
really
thank you
appreciate
so
everyone's
much.
time and attention today. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dustin, and thank you everyone for joining us. I will be following up with each of you after the webinar. If you do have any questions, get those written down and I will follow up with you and send you out any marketing materials or illustrations you might want. I'll talk to you soon and hope you all have a great day.